Algebra Foundation Unit Test Review. I want to combine the like terms to simplify the expression. So what we have here is negative 5.55 minus 8.55 letter C plus 4.35 letter C. So this negative 5.5, we'll just go ahead and put that in a box. That's just a regular number. As for the letters, we'll just go ahead and circle those. So what we have to do is go ahead and combine these two together. So let me go ahead and pull up the calculator. So on the calculator, we're going to say, let's see, a negative 8.5. So let me clear everything out. So we'll go negative 8.55, make that negative, and to that we want to add 4.35c. So plus 4.35, so that gives us a negative 4.2. So right here we'll say it's going to be a negative 5.55. That doesn't change. And again, we said the other number was a negative 4.2. So we would say a negative 4.2 letter C. So let's go ahead and type that in there. So negative 5.55. And this is going to be a negative 4.2. Don't forget the letter C. So let's go ahead and check this. So it is correct. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. The next one we want to evaluate 7j plus 5 minus 8k when j is 0.5 and k is 0.25. So let me bring back up the screen. So we're going to say 7. This is going to be 7 times 0.5. Because wherever there's a j, it's going to be 0.5. So then we're going to say plus 5 minus 8. And we're going to say 8 times 0.25. So we go ahead and do our multiplication here. So we're going to take 7 times 0.5. So that's 35, but we got to move the decimal over 1. So that turns into 3.5. Plus 5. Now we go ahead and do the multiplication here. We're going to take negative 8 times 0.25, and that's going to be a negative 2. So now we add this up, so that's going to be 8.5. Now we're going to subtract 2, so my answer is going to be actually 6.5. So it's like we have $8.50, we spend $2. That's going to get us down to 6.5. So this will be a positive 6.5. So let's check this, and it's correct. Let's go to the next one. Which expression is equivalent to 4d plus 6 plus 2d? Well, notice we can add the two d's together, and we can go ahead and create 6d. So 6d plus 2. So we have 6d plus 2. So we got to find something that matches onto this. And actually, this shouldn't be plus 2. This should actually be plus 6, because it is 4d plus 2d is 6d, so it should be a plus 6 there. So right here, if we check this, 2 times 3d is 6d, that's correct. 2 times 3 is 6, so that's one of the answers. Notice we're looking for all possible answers. Now this one looks good because it goes 6d, but what happens here is 6 times 6 becomes 36, not 6, so that's not an answer. Now here we guess adding two parentheses. We have 3d plus 3d. Well, that's 6d, and then 3 plus 3 is 6. So it looks like it's going to be A and C. Let's look at the next one. We want to simplify the equivalent expressions. Let's go ahead and multiply through by 6. So 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times a negative 3 is a negative 18, but we do have a letter y there. The next one, we have 6 times y is 6y. And then 6 times 1 is 6. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and box our numbers here. And then from here, let's go ahead and circle. So we got a negative 18y and 6y. Well, you owe $18, you're only paying 6. You should pay 18, but you pay 6. So that means you still owe 12. So it's a negative 12y. As for the 42 and the 6, you add those up. So that's going to become 48. Now, if we look at our answers here, it says choose one answer. So we're just looking for straight up negative 12y plus 48. Well, this is positive. This is a negative, but the 43 is wrong. This one actually matches, so it looks like it's C. And D is they're both negative, so it looks like C would be our best choice. Let's go to the next one. So the expression equivalent to this. Well, if you look at this, you see you got 3x's spread out. You can bring them together. And you just simply say 3x plus 2. Now again, it says choose two answers. So there's going to be two answers that's going to match 3x plus 2. Well, A is identical. Now B looks like it could be identical, but notice right here they switched out the x with the 3 and a 2. They do have the 3 and a 2, but the x is with the wrong number. Now if you come here, you multiply, you get 3 times x is 3x, that matches, but 3 times 2 is 6, not 2. So let's take a look at the next one. This is 2x, and then there's another x. So 2x and another x, which becomes 3x. Now notice 2 times 1 is 2, so it does match the 3x plus 2, because 2x and an x is 3x, and simply take 2 times 1 within the parentheses to get the 2. Now E is 5x. Well, it's no way you can add these together because there's no x after the 2. So my two choices here would be A and D. Let's go to the next question. Okay, we have R. We want to evaluate RS plus 14S when R is equal to 6. So we're going to take 6 times 1/4 plus 14 times S, which is 1/4. So we have R times S. Well, that's going to be 6 times 1/4. So that's going to be 6 over 4. And normally we reduce this down, but let's hold off. Let's keep it at 6 over 4. Now we come over here. This was 14 times 1/4. Well, when you multiply this, because remember these numbers here are going to be over 1, so you're going to get 14 over 4. Now notice by not reducing, we do have the same denominator here, so we can simply add the numerators. So that becomes 20 over 4. Now 20 is bigger than 4, and it so happens that 20 divided by 4 is 5. So let's check that. Let's see if 5 does work. Okay, we put a 5 in there, and it is correct. Let's go to the next one. Okay, next we have a series of fractions here. So we got the 11/12 minus the 1/6 plus the 5/6 minus the 1/3. Now the numbers, we're going to put those in boxes there. So the numbers, we'll put those in boxes, and then the other letters will circle, but make sure you capture the signs in front. So basically right here we have 1/6 plus 5/6. So this is 5 over 6. And let me go back and write this better. So we're going to have a positive 5/6, and I'll tell you what, I'll make this 6 better here. So let's make this a better 6. So what we can do is combine these together now. So notice you have 5 and a negative 1. So 5 and a negative 1 gives me 4/6, and there should be a Q there. So this becomes 2/3 Q when we reduce. So you have $5, you owe $1 to somebody, so it's going to bring your total down to 4 over 6. So this is actually a 6 here, but we can divide top and bottom by 2, and that gives me 2/3. So I can press the fraction key, and I can go put 2 over 3, and then I can press the space bar, and that allows me to put the letter Q in. Make sure you use the right variable here. In this case, it's Q. Now, what I'm going to do is we have the 11/12 minus the 1/3. Those are our numbers there. Now notice, 12 and 3. 3 does go into 12 4 times. So we can go ahead and multiply by 4. So by doing so, we can go ahead and get 11/12. So let me write it over here. So we go 11/12, that stays the same, minus 4 times 1 is 4 over 12. So right here, 11 minus 4 looks like it's going to be 7 over 12. Now, it's a positive because 11/12, of course, is bigger than 4/12. So we're going to press in our plus sign. We're going to go ahead and press the fractions again, and we're going to put 7 on top, and the denominator is going to be 12. So let's go ahead and check this. So that is correct. So let's go and take a look at the next one. The next one, we want to create an equivalent expression. So let's go and times through this. So 2 times 3 is 6y plus 12. So let me break that a plus sign better. So we get, again, 6y plus 12. Then we're going to take the minus 3. Now remember, the minus is going to switch everything. So a minus 3 and a minus 4 becomes a positive 12. A minus 3 and a minus 1, that minus will turn into a positive 3y. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and circle our letters. Make sure you capture the sign. Let's go ahead and box our numbers in. So what we get here is, looks like we get 12 plus 12 is 24, and then 6y and the 3y is going to be 9y. Notice we're only looking for one answer, so we need 9y plus 24. Well, that's not it. 5y plus 24, that's not it. This has possibilities, but the 24 is negative where it should be positive. So the best choice here is D. Let's go to the next one. Okay, which expression is equivalent? So let's go ahead and multiply through by 3. So we get 12h. Now we're going to multiply by 3. That's going to give me 6k. So I got 12h plus 6k. So let's take a look at this. We have a 6k, 3 times 2 is 6k. Good, that's what we wanted. And then 3 times 4h is 12h. So this one does work, because if you again multiply 3 times 2k is 6k, and then 3 times 4h is 12h. Now if you look at this, this becomes 12k, which you don't want. You want it to be 6k. And then 3 times 2 is 6h. You want that to be 12. So it looks like only letter A works.